Edit Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, and my thoughts on this episode. Bit of problems, ending wasn't bad, needs a lot of improvement. I thought the beginning of the episode was shit because of a returning character who they keep bringing her back, and I don't know why. She's not that funny. She's irritating as fuck. If you've watched Mandalorian, you know who I'm talking about. But yes, they bring that twat back. And there were mistakes in this episode, especially with Bo-Katan, who refuses to mention her sister for whatever reason. Like, are they really trying to make us forget what she did to her sister? Like, Bo-Katan might have been a hero because she fought the Empire, but we all remember Bo-Katan's history, right? Like, she did screw over the Mandalorians with the Death Watch. I'll get into that in spoilers, but wow, they are really trying to make us forget her history. And I don't understand why. Well, actually I do. They don't want to make her, have a bad past. But again, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know what she's done. So I thought that was weird. It was a longer episode this time. It was 45 minutes. I think it's okay. I like the visuals in this. I loved seeing Mandalore. Another problem for the show is they kind of forget. Well, they don't forget, but they kind of get rid of Mandalorian's mission at the start of this episode, and they have Mandalore acting strange at the beginning too, which is really just stupid, in my opinion. But other than that, I think it's an okay episode. I think the ending of the episode is where the episode is strongest. Middle's okay. Beginning part is shit. Baby Yoda needs to go. Okay? He is just annoying to have in this show. Mandalorian should not have brought him back. Okay? I know his name is Din Djarin, but I'm just going to call him Mando, okay? I just can't. I just want to call him that. But yeah, Baby Yoda is just becoming... Again, it's the same thing with Omega in Bad Batch. It's like, these two characters, we're trying to write a good story around them, and it's pretty fucking difficult if it's... Again, I'm not saying Baby Yoda is a bad character, but he is kind of pointless in some of this episode. Like, I get he has a major part in this episode, but his role could have been taken up by R5. If you've watched the episode, you know what I mean. So let's go to this, my score out of 10. 5.5 at best I can do. Again, the ending's what saves it for me. Other than that, pretty boring episode, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a 5.5 out of 10 from me. Good parts at the end. Beginning needs to be cut out completely, and a lot of reshoots I would have probably done for this episode. So let's go to spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So let's get to the bitch. It's the mechanic woman from Tatooine. You know, the one they keep bringing back because they seem to think this character's funny, not irritating, not annoying. This character needs to go away. I am sick and fucking tired of her. She is not funny. She is irritating. She is annoying to watch. Why is she back? I don't understand why. So the episode starts off on Tatooine with Bunta's Eve. Everybody celebrating, yay, and all that shit. Turns out she is doing a con on a Rhodian. She's working with the Jawas, stealing parts of his ship or his transport and selling it back to him at a cost. And so she tricks the Rhodian, she gets the Jawas to bring back the stolen parts, and then Mando arrives on his main mission, which is to get a memory stick thing for IG-88. Because he needs IG-88 to go to Mandalore so he can basically have a bath. Which is what he has to do because he took his helmet off once. That's how stupid this fucking show is. We have Din Djarin took his helmet off once and now has to have a bath to, repent for his sins of taking off his fucking helmet. I'm sorry, but Jesus Christ. Wow. Yeah, well, so Mando goes to the mechanic, tells her can she find an IG-88 part that he needs. She basically says, nah, you can't find this, or it will take us extremely long time to find it. Even the Jawas can't find it, so why doesn't Mando just take this random R5 unit to Mandalore? Even though the last 2 bloody seasons of Mando, they've said Mando doesn't like droids or doesn't trust droids. But apparently, this mechanic can persuade Mando into trusting a random R5 unit. Because as soon as she says you can't find the part for IG-88, Mando buys the fucking R5 unit and takes him to Mandalore instead. So what the fuck was the point of episode 1 fucking going after IG-88? Why didn't Mando just get a random fucking droid from Creed? I forgot what his character's name is in the show, sorry. Why didn't you just take the droid that he offered you in the first episode? Why are we bothering? Are you fucking serious? It doesn't take that long for Mando to be convinced. Fuck it. Let's just grab any random bloody droid. Jesus fucking. Anyway, so Mando buys a droid. She puts it in the fucking Naboo fighter. They fly off to Mandalore, where we see Mando teaching Baby Yoda more about map reading and where he is and what he needs to look for. He also tells him about Concordia because he's gone straight to Mandalore. And Concordia is basically the planet that orbits Mandalore. And if you know the history of Concordia, I mean, that's a pretty important planet for Mandalorians. So, anyway. Again, if you know about the Death Watch, you know about the Governor, you also know about the Mandalorian warriors that were sent there. It's a very important planet. Anyway, so, Mando heads down to Mandalore. He lands on the planet, sends the R5 unit to go check if the air is breathable so he can go out and have his bath. I mean, I'm just gonna... okay. What annoys me is basically R5 goes down to do his little scan, then gets attacked by a mysterious creature, and then Mando leaves the ship and pretty much turns out that he can secure his suit enough so he can breathe. So what's the fucking point of the droid? What the hell was the point? If you've already got breathing apparatus to use so you can walk on a planet that doesn't have air, why are we wasting time with droids? Why didn't you just come here in the first place to do the whole bath thing? It's just so fucking stupid. It really is. So you don't need a droid either way. Oh, fuck's sake, man. This is a lot of bad writing. Anyway, so R5 gets attacked. Mando has to go check what's happened. And then Mando sees the city of Mandalore. And it's a ruined basically because the Empire destroyed it. But you could tell they did copy a lot from the Clone Wars. I thought they'd do it a little bit differently, but no, it's the exact kind of copy of the cartoon. And I thought that was great. Then, whilst Mando is looking at the city, he's attacked by Alamites, and he kills them all, and then grabs R5, heads back up to get Baby Yoda. R5 does a little scan to check if the planet poisonous. No, it's not. So apparently Mandalore is fine. You can breathe on it, you can walk through it, what the fuck ever. So they walk through the cave. Well, they jump down to the bottom of the chasm where the city is, and then they walk through the mine. Mando finds a random Mandalorian helmet. I wish they had done an old Mandalorian helmet, you know, from Knights of the Old Republic. That would be so fucking cool to see that. The old Mandalorian armor. The really old stuff. That would have been interesting. Not just another random Mandalorian helmet, you know, the really OG kind. That would have been interesting if he'd found that. But anyway, so he's walking, whilst he's looking at the helmet, he then gets captured by this random robot thing, which is designed like a crab. He gets captured, this robot thing drags him to his little camp area, and then starts to take Mando's weapons from him. And then when Baby Yoda tries to free him with the Force, turns out doesn't work. Baby Yoda then gets attacked by this robot, and then Baby Yoda runs for it, heads back to the ship. He's then attacked by a Alamite, and then just pushes the Alamite out of the way, quick as fuck. Gets on the Naboo fighter. R5 then takes him to Bo-Katan, and when he arrives, Bo-Katan is still sitting on her chair for God only knows why. And then when Bo-Katan is about to tell Mando to fuck off, she sees it's only Baby Yoda, so she takes Baby Yoda and R5 on her Mandalorian shuttle, and she heads to Mandalore. When they get there, she sees the state of Mandalore and sees the city, tells Baby Yoda that's not what it used to look like, it used to be great, blah 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 blah. Lands on the planet, heads down the chasm with Baby Yoda, talks about how she used to work with the Jedi and how Mandalorians and Jedi used to work together. Okay, yes, you did that once, but do you want to talk about how Mandalorians and Jedi used to kill each other by the thousands? That's kind of a big thing in Mandalorian history, because they're warring against the Jedi. I mean, Jesus Christ, Revan? Do you want to tell him about Revan and how I mean, the history between the Jedi and the Mandalorians is one of fucking war. They weren't friends for long, Bo-Katan, which is ridiculous. Like, how do you not mention that to Baby Yoda? He's gonna find out sometime. Anyway, whilst they're walking through the chasm, they're then attacked again by the Acklamites. She kills all three of them. I thought it was a kind of good scene. Then they find Mando. She destroys the robot using the Darksaber. Then when the robot gets destroyed, the little head thing comes off. She then goes back into the massive crab thing. It then attacks Bo-Katan again, but Bo-Katan destroys the robot again and kills the creature, frees Mando. They walk through. Mando then wakes up from being unconscious because the robot was sucking out Mando's blood for some reason. And then, what was it? Oh, and then she gives Mando something called Pog. What's it called? Pog soup. Something. It says every Mandalorian's had this. How have you not had this, Mando? Whatever. And then Mando tells her about the fact that he wants to have a bath in the waters of Mandalore. Bo-Katan kind of laughs at that and says it's not really a special thing. It's just some water. Why are you wasting time with that? Fairy tale. But Mando says, listen, I don't care. I'm going down there to purify myself. Whatever. So Bo-Katan agrees to take him down to the fucking waters, And on this little journey, she talks about the history of Mandalore, how her father and her were part of the royal family, how she had to deal with all the royal customs and that, and never fucking mentions her fucking sister once. Not once. Satine is not mentioned once by Bo-Katan. Are you going to tell Mando how your sister pretty much brought your people back from extinction? How she fixed Mandalore? How Mandalore was nearly becoming self-reliant? And she took away your warrior caste? You're not going to mention how you betrayed your sister, joined Death Watch, became a terrorist, destroyed your planet, joined with the Separatists until they betrayed you. I mean, how the hell do you not mention what really weakened Mandalore? Because yes, Satine did take away your warrior spirit and shit, but she did rebuild Mandalore until you stabbed her in the fucking back. How the fuck do you not mention this? They better bring up Satine, because I don't understand why you wouldn't. She's a very important character in the Mandalorian history. And I hope we start seeing people mention that, because that is bullshit if they don't. Anyway, they get to the waters. Bo-Katan reads some plaque that says this is the place where the Mosasaur used to be, and the first Mandalorian, Mandalore himself, managed to tame the creature, and that's what made him become the leader of Mandalore. Yay, whatever. So Mandalorian takes off all his weapons and his jetpack, goes down into the water, says religious stuff about this is the way and all that shit, and then whilst he's walking, doesn't look where he's walking, and then falls straight down in the water, and then Bo-Katan jumps in to the water to save him, uses a jetpack underwater. Don't remember jetpacks being able to do that, but it's Star Wars, I can believe that probably could work, and grabs Mando, and then sees that there is an actual Mosasaur in the water, and whoever can control that beast may actually bring back a lot of Mandalorians so they can rebuild. Oh! Completely forgot to mention this, but Bo-Katan keeps mentioning the fact this is the worst period of Mandalorian history. Like, Mandalorians have never been this badly hurt before. They haven't been this, spread out before. Bo-Katan, yes they have. This is like a continuing thing in Mandalorian history. You lost against the Republic when you fought Revan, yeah? You lost that war and you got spread out again. This happens a lot in Mandalorian history, and you always come back from it. Why is everybody so like, this is the end of Mandalorians? Like, you lot have done this so many fucking times and come back from the brink that I don't think anybody's going to think Mandalorians are going to disappear. It's ridiculous. How do you not know that history? Again, Revan destroyed Mandalore, or at least Mandalorians, and your leader, and this pretty much scattered a shitload of you. And you all came back together again. All you actually need is a new Mandalore. That's all you need. A new leader, and you're all going to come back. And I'm kind of guessing they're going to make Bo-Katan Mandalore because of the woke shit. But who knows, maybe they'll change it, I don't know. But yes, I thought that was just pretty dumb that she doesn't remember her own Mandalorian history. Anyway, so she saves Mandalorian, and then the episode ends. And yeah, it's a 5.5 for me. Don't think it's that great of an episode, but I did like the ending with the Mosasaur, and I did like, Bo-Katan fighting and all that shit. I found that entertaining. But anyway, yeah, that's my review. Kind of a good episode. Kind of needs work, but well, it's only Mandalorian. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you don't like this review, give it a dislike. And if you like my content, do think about subscribing. Entertainment World Soldier. Bye.